Top 10 beaches in Sihanoukville, Cambodia. Located about 4 hours from Phnom Penh by bus, Sihanoukville is the country's premier beach destination for locals and tourists alike. It features a variety of beaches, most of which are an easy walk from the downtown hotels and hostels where most visitors stay. Though once a relatively quiet seaside town, Sihanoukville has undergone a major transformation in the last few years, and sadly it's one that most people aren't happy about. The change has been largely fueled by the construction of swank new hotels and casinos that have deluged the once quaint town with foreign construction workers, businessmen, high rollers and gamblers, and driven rents and property values through the roof. For now there are still a few beach areas that are precariously clinging to their undeveloped charm, but for those who want to see them before they disappear forever, it'd be wise to do it sooner rather than later. 10. Reem Beach. Located inside the Reem National Park, Reem Beach is one that's remained relatively untouched in recent years, making it increasingly popular for those who'd rather spend their time in a beautiful and serene area than a crowded urban one. The beach is narrow and long and is often more populated with local fishermen than it is with tourists. For those who'd like to spend the night in nature, there's an inexpensive guest house run by the Park Service, and though the accommodations aren't luxurious, they're comfortable. 9. Victory Beach. Sihanoukville's Victory Beach is comprised of two distinct portions that are intersected by a rocky point jutting into the sea. The southernmost of the beaches is often referred to as Hawaii Beach, and the northern as New Beach, and they're both known for the iconic Victory Monument which lies nearby and commemorates the two countries' friendship and defeat of the Khmer Rouge. There aren't any waves to speak of, but the water is usually clear and the views of the sea merging with the distant horizon can be mesmerizing, especially at sunset. 8. Koh Ruse. The island sits about 10 kilometers off the coast of Sihanoukville and is surrounded by coral reefs and stunningly blue water. It's the perfect escape for those who've had their share of chaos and construction noise, and is easily reachable by a shuttle boat that leaves from Sihanoukville a couple times a day. On the northernmost of its scenic beaches there are a few laid-back, bungalow-style resorts that are favorites with backpackers and those looking to sleep under the stars. The island's electricity comes from generators that don't run all day, and though visitors from the mainland come during the day, most return in the afternoon, leaving the island nearly deserted. 7. Koh Rong Samloem. Though it's slightly closer to Sihanoukville than the aforementioned Koh Ruse, Koh Rong Samloem is the smaller of the two islands, and in Khmer its name means drowsy, or sleepy island. It's surrounded by the usually clear and calm waters of the Gulf of Thailand, and is only moderately developed, especially in comparison to nearby Sihanoukville, which is in the grips of an explosive and largely unpopular expansion. Its beaches are amazingly white and free of the usual detritus that usually washes up on the mainland beaches during high tide, and loud music and revelers probably won't be a concern like it is at many of Cambodia's beaches. 6. Koh Rong. Another of Cambodia's coastal islands that's known for its beauty is Koh Rong. It's the second largest of Cambodia's islands and is known by locals as Paradise or Shelter Island, and after a few hours relaxing on one of its beaches you'll probably agree that it's aptly named. Once nearly totally undeveloped, the island has undergone a noticeable transformation in recent years, and that's particularly true of the Koh Touch area, which is where the fast ferry boat from Sihanoukville arrives and departs. The development in Koh Touch has been a bit haphazard and is largely characterized by beachside bars and inexpensive bungalows that can get rowdy at times, but the rest of the island is still very natural by comparison. 5. Soka Beach. For much of its existence Soka Beach was one of Sihanoukville's most popular beaches, but it's now private, which means it's open to visitors, but they're expected to buy food or drinks if they'd like to hang around and appreciate it. The beach stretches nearly 2 kilometers, and the Soka Beach Resort, of which it's now part, also has cultivated gardens, a variety of restaurants, spas and multiple swimming pools with swim-up bars that are reminiscent of those found at Club Med. The Soka Beach Resort is about halfway between Independence and Serendipity beaches, and is one of the swankest resorts in the area, and even hosted the country's king in the recent past. 4. Independence Beach. At nearly 2 kilometers, Independence Beach is one of Sihanoukville's longest, and until recently it was one of the town's most popular as well. It runs roughly between Independence Hotel, Resort and Spa to the north and Holiday Palace Resort to the south, and though it once offered beachgoers amazing views inland and up and down the coast, much of the skyline is now obstructed by the many high-rise construction projects just inland. Independence Beach probably isn't a good fit for those looking to spend hours swimming and laying in the sun, but it's a great spot for a long morning or afternoon walk, and there are still plenty of scenic vistas to take in, especially from the south end when looking toward the sea. 3. Okhudil Beach. For those who welcome a long walk along the sea, a morning or afternoon stroll from downtown to Okhudil Beach could be a great way to get the lay of the land and take in some pretty impressive natural scenery as well. Years ago, Okhudil Beach was lined with dozens of small family-run businesses serving cheap drinks and tasty local dishes, but many of them have been forced to close and the entire character of the once popular beach has changed as well. There are still great dining and shopping options nearby too, and even the casino projects are interesting to see, though it won't take long before you'll be looking for a natural escape. 2. Serendipity Beach. Another of Sihanoukville's most popular beaches is Serendipity Beach, and it's still home to a number of locally owned, beachside restaurants that serve up yummy and inexpensive food and drinks. During the middle of the day when the sun is at its most intense, it's a good idea to retreat to the restaurants that are shaded with large umbrellas, and due to its central location it also has the largest variety of accommodations within an easy walk from the beach. Many foreigners who live in Cambodia love the rainy season. 1. Otris Beach. For many first-time visitors to Sihanoukville, Otris Beach is where they get their first taste of the Cambodian coastline. It's full of touristy shops, quaint eateries, coffee shops and hotels and hostels at nearly every price point, and despite the development and construction nearby, Otris has somehow remained cleaner and less cluttered than many of its neighbors. Unlike other beaches, most of the resorts along Otris are small and have so far managed to avoid the demolition and construction boom that's been taking the town by storm. In summary, Otris is a pleasant mix of scenery, serenity, affordability and amenities that make it Sihanoukville's most visited beach.